Round 3 of USL Cup, expansion teams, and World Cup people. Welcome to All Talk, all USL Talk, USL Cup latest scores, news, and developments in the second highest division of the United States men's professional soccer system, the USL Championship. I'm your host, as always, Vince Galvano. Happy Monday, June 8th, 2026, episode 92, episode 16 of season 3 of Talk USL. The last episode before the 2026 FIFA World Cup. We are days away, recording at the moment on a Sunday here in Central Europe. Was sitting down, just enjoying watching the United States men's national team play its send-off match in Chicago against the German national team back on Saturday. Really enjoyed watching that game. What a goal from Anthony Robinson, and a solid performance from a United States side against one of the, I'd say, you can't say tournament favorites, but if you had to lay down your top 8 teams to win the tournament, Germany's probably on that list, at least top 10. You know, I think we can be realistic. No one's really expecting the United States to win the World Cup. It'd be great. That's not the expectation, though. But to do what we did, the momentum that we garnered in that first half against the Germans, and the goal to celebrate it, wow. We looked good in moments there, and I'm excited. I just kept reminding, I was watching the game with my brother. I said, hey, listen, I know this is Germany, but don't forget, we have Paraguay and Australia as our first 2 games. So let's do a little comparison there. This is a good sign. Place was rampant, and I'm just looking more and more forward. We're going to talk about the World Cup today. We're going to talk about some of the alumni from the USL that are part of it, and we have 4 players this year in the competition. Who are the 4 players? They represent 2 teams, 2 apiece, I should say. Some Miami players, some Colorado player, as well as an El Paso player. Just a little bit of a heads up. We got Player of the Month nominees out for May. We got expansion sides we got to talk about. And of course, we've had round 3 cup action of the Prinkstars USL Cup this past weekend to get into. So make sure, if you are liking what you are listening to, follow us on all socials at Talk USL. You can always write to me at talkuslchampionship@gmail.com, or just send me a DM in one of those socials if you have any questions. As always, really appreciate you guys listening. And if you haven't reviewed the podcast, make sure to do it on your so-called listening platform for whatever podcast you go to. Anyway, here we go. Let's break this down, talking about the USL on the World Cup stage with some alumni. We'll talk about who's there, talk Player of the Month, and then we'll talk about the expansion sides, and then we will get into the action across a little bit of the league and, of course, the USL Cup. So, USL on the World Cup stage. Note here from Nicholas Murray in the Rondo, the official USL newsletter, because this is one of those stories that really shows how far the USL footprint has grown over time. The 2026 World Cup is going to mark a historic first. Active USL Championship players are set to compete on soccer's biggest stage. But Nicholas Murray in his newsletter, his bigger point is that the USL influence goes way beyond just the active players. There's 4 active players. According to Nicholas Murray, 31 players who have previously played in the USL Championship, USL League 1, or USL League 2 have been called up by 8 different national teams for this summer's tournament. Combined, those players count for more than 800 appearances and 63,000 minutes across the USL ecosystem. And this is not new territory either. You know, he also points out that at least one USL alumnus has played at every World Cup since 1998, going back to former Milwaukee Rampage forward and current Brooklyn FC general manager Brian McBride. But this year feels a bit broader. This year you have some title winners, award winners, history makers, and players who have used the USL as a launchpad to much bigger stages. So a couple of the names that he had gone to mention: a Panama international by the name of Carlos Harvey, the USL Link LA Galaxy reserve team, and Phoenix Rising FC. Carlos Harvey of Panama broke into the championship as a teenager with the Galaxy reserve side before really coming to his own in Phoenix. He captained the Rising as a 23-year-old and helped lead them to a 2023 USL Championship title. So congrats to him, and take a look at that. He's playing for Panama in this World Cup. Take a look at Canada. Tani Oluwaseyi, the USL Link from Manhattan SC in USL League 2, San Antonio in the Championship. I think one of the best modern USL developmental stories. He got League 2 minutes with Manhattan, then went on loan to San Antonio from Minnesota United and exploded 18 goals, 7 assists in 27 appearances, plus 3 hat tricks, which tied a USL Championship single season record. Now part of a strong Canada attacking group. From the United States, you have Ricardo Pepi. He played in the game against Germany too. Obviously, I don't think he'll be starting. Balogun pretty much has that spot secured, but coming off the bench, this guy, pro breakout in League 1, USL Link North Texas, and USL League 1. At just 16, he scored the first hat trick in USL League 1 history and finished with 11 goals in 14 appearances, helping North Texas win the League 1 title back in the day. You also have from Haiti, Francis Pirot, the USL link with Reading United AC in USL League 2. He had 16 goals, 4 assists, in just over 1,400 minutes with Reading. Since then, he has played in Europe, appeared in the Champions League with Maccabi Haifa, and has become a major figure for Haiti, helping them reach their first World Cup in 52 years. Another Canadian, part of that list, Joel Waterman, USL link Kitsap Pumas, TSS Rovers, and Calgary Foothills FC in USL League 2. And Path is a perfect example of a long development road for Joel Waterman. 2,100 minutes across 3 League 2 clubs and won a League 2 title with Calgary back in the day. That helped launch him to Canadian Premier League soccer, then Montreal, and now Canada's national team. And then you also have some big USL alumni names. Tyler Adams for New York Rebels 2. Derek Etienne Jr., also part of New York Rebels 2 in that 2016 title-winning group. Chris Brady, in between the pipes, former Forward Madison goalkeeper. And you also have, of course, Alphonso Davies, the former Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 player and the youngest goal scorer in USL Championship history. So when we talk about USL as a development platform, this is the proof, ladies and gentlemen. From League 2 to League 1 to the Championship to MLS to Europe to the World Cup. And that matters because USL is trying to tell a bigger story right now. Expansion, promotion, relegation, USL Premier Player Development, stronger clubs, stronger markets. And then we go beyond that. We go to the active players at the moment, the current USL Championship World Cup players. We start first with a duo from Miami for representing Curacao at the World Cup. Eloy Room, goalkeeper, and Jurgen Locadia, the forward. And then for Haiti, you have Duke Lacroix of Colorado and Carl Sante of El Paso. This makes 4 active USL Championship players at this year's World Cup from those 2 teams so far. I mean, I don't think there are anyone else. Maybe I might be missing. If I am, just let me know. But after doing my research, I only came across those 4, but a chance and maybe we could say some motivation to root for Curacao and Haiti at this World Cup. So I'm excited. Can't wait for it. We're days away. Thursday is right around the corner between Mexico and South Africa, kicking off once again like they did back in 2010. And then this is it. This is our last podcast episode before the World Cup. So we'll have obviously plenty to talk about in the beginning of each episode and so forth. And we'll track these performances for Curacao and Haiti throughout the tournament and those USL players. Player of the nominees for May, the USL Championship of June 4th, announced the nominees, honoring 4 of the top performers across the 3rd month of the 2026 regular season. Just an FYI, the award winner and complete voting results will be announced this Thursday as well, June 11th. Those 4 players, Indy 11, Charleston Battery, San Antonio, Tampa Bay Rowdies, stand up because your players got called to the list for the short list. Starting with Tampa Bay Rowdies, MD Myers, 2025 All-League selection, recorded 4 goals, 1 assist across all competitions, averaging a goal every 98 minutes. Shot conversion rate is 50%. He's logged 8 shots, 2 chances created in the month of May. For San Antonio, the 19-year-old Dimitri Edofiv recorded 3 goals and 2 assists to lead San Antonio to an undefeated month, averaging a goal contribution every 67.8 minutes while notching 10 shots and 6 chances created overall. Colton Swan, United States Youth and National Team standout for U19. Charleston Battery player, recorded 4 goals and 1 assist across all competitions, recording 11 shots and 3 chances created overall while averaging a goal every 66 minutes. Then from Indy 11 side, Bruno Rendon, the Cuban forward, recorded 4 goals across all competitions, averaging a goal every 111.5 minutes, 13 shots and 8 chances converted with a shot conversion rate of 44.4%. Who are you voting for? Who did you vote for? Already got my alerts going off on the phone like crazy because we all want to know. But anyway, voting for fans closed yesterday. Nonetheless, I put my vote in, and we'll see what happens. We'll talk about more of that in the next episode, who came away with the victory for May. Let's talk about these expansion sides, because we got one coming to the USL Championship And the following clubs, by the way, have been included in USL's application to US Soccer for the 2027 season, scheduled to begin, obviously, next March, but they included 5 additional clubs in its application, further strengthening the league's natural footprint across USL Championship and USL League One. The additions reflect continued growth across the professional ecosystem as the organization builds towards an interconnected 3-tier men's structure, consisting of USL Premier, Championship, and then USL League 1 and 2 as part of that. For the USL Championship, the big one, so Dallas will be getting a side. Atlético Dallas is the name of the team. They'll bring professional soccer to one of the country's most vibrant, passionate sports markets, founded by lifelong friends and soccer enthusiasts Matt Valentine and Sam Morton, alongside business partners Luther Ott and Dan McAlone. The ownership group has been further strengthened by the addition of sports entrepreneur Terrence Murphy and former United States men's national team player Kyle Martino. He was also on the call for color commentary in Saturday's match between the United States and, of course, Germany. So Kyle Martino is a name that's been around, much as like Eric Winalda, of kind of those vintage players that have really made a really nice career for themselves in sports broadcasting. And the club will play its home matches at the historic Cotton Bowl Stadium and is investing in a long-term presence in Dallas through improvements to the Dallas Soccer Complex and the development of a future headquarters near Fair Park that will include front office operations, a retail shop, supporters bar and restaurant, and the club's first street court. There you have it for the upcoming season. Atlético Dallas for the USL Championship. A couple of USL League One sides to make note of. A lot of them in Florida, I should say, as well, but we'll start outside of Florida. Talking about Sporting Cascades making a professional debut in Eugene, Oregon, playing its home matches at Civic Park, which would be a soccer-specific venue built on the site of the historic Civic Stadium for Oregon in USL League One. Port St. Lucie is the other one. SC, the project reflects the club's commitment to establishing a permanent home for professional soccer in Florida's Treasure Coast. Fort Lauderdale as well. Fort Lauderdale United FC continues the organization investment in professional soccer in South Florida. The ownership group also includes United States men's national team player Gio Reyna. And the other one, name still to be determined, but it's Thousand Oaks. The Thousand Oaks Club will be operated by Oak Sports Holding, a sports and entertainment company with investments across professional sports, entertainment, and real estate. The club further expands USL League One's presence in SoCal, Southern California, joining AV Alta FC as the league continues to grow across that region as well. So there you have it, the 5 teams, the one that's coming to the USL Championship, Atlético Dallas, and then USL League One, Sporting Cascades, Port St. Lucie, as well as Fort Lauderdale United and Thousand Oaks as part of SoCal. And there you have it. That's really what the big news was this week. And man, oh man, stuff just get more and more excited for future seasons and the growth of the United States soccer system as we continue into the future. One game to talk about that happened midweek on Wednesday night. Birmingham Legion hosting Lou City. Started with real intent at Protective Stadium, struck early Birmingham. In the 10th minute, it was Ngoma delivering into the attacking area, and Diarbian finished at the back post to put Legion in front. In the 10th minute, Birmingham controlled good stretches from there. Tyler Pasher, Chashua, helping dictate possession, keeping Louisville under pressure. Louisville then needed a response after 4 straight league losses. We talked about this, and they found it before halftime. The 42nd minute, Taylor DeVilla's corner was knocked out of the box by Quincy Huerman, and Babacar Niang took a settling touch before firing home his first league goal for Lou City. The 43rd minute, it was a timing moment for a player who had seen limited minutes this season. The second half stayed tight. Birmingham did generate 11 shots overall, limited Louisville to just 1 shot on target, but neither side could find the end needle, and this match would end at 1-1. So Legion push, Lou City respond. Niang's moment stops the slide, we could say. So his equalizer, giving Louisville that crucial response. Lou City's final third issues remain a concern. Just 1 shot on target all night, despite 25 touches in Birmingham's box. But Gavork Diarbian gave Birmingham that early spark. Babacar Niang obviously giving the response. Coaching standpoint, Jay Heap saw the talent in Birmingham's performance, but pointed to the next step, staying focused in key moments, taking chances when they arrive. For Louisville, head coach Simon Bird acknowledged the slow start, but viewed the response as progress. So was this point more valuable for Birmingham or Louisville? Probably emotionally, Louisville. point probably means more. Birmingham may feel that they had enough control to win the match, but Lou City needed to stop the bleeding. So it's still a good result for both sides. They had a slight edge in possession of the night. Birmingham eliminated, like I said, Louisville to that one shot on target. They extend the unbeaten home run, which is nice. And then you also have the fact that Ngoma had the assist, and Diarbian scored in that 10th minute. Tyler Pasha, Shishua each had 3 shots and completed 57 passes, so that's really good to see. And for Louisville side, they snapped that 4-game losing streak, which was the longest in club history. The really nice thing, though, Sean Tosh became the second player in the USL Championship history to reach 25,000 career minutes. That was what was awesome. He had said, obviously just talking about the result in itself, quote, a step in the right direction, end quote, and admitted the locker room had been feeling the pressure during the losing run. His message was that Lou City must come through the adversity together. And I mean, what a way to snap that losing streak, but also get a streak of your own, 25,000 career minutes in the USL Championship. Congratulations, Sean Tosh. Detroit taking on Lexington. Let's switch over now to the USL Cup action that took place. We'll go about all these intra-conference matches, and then we'll talk about those USL League One versus USL side matches as well. But Detroit taking on Lexington. We should mention, by the way, Lexington announced earlier last week that they had 2 updates to his technical staff. This was back on Friday. So you had former head coach of Monterey Bay FC, Jordan Stewart, has now joined Mac Hemi's staff as an assistant coach. Additionally, Shane O'Neill will transition from his role as an assistant coach on LSC's Gainbridge Super League staff to the men's side. Stewart obviously serving as that Monterey Bay FC gaffer for 56 matches dating back to the 2024 USL Championship season. Prior to his time at the California side, he was an assistant coach at the Town FC and the MLS Next Pro affiliate of the San Jose Earthquake. So he's excited to join. Quote, his focus is to help players improve every day, create the right environment for development, and continue learning from the head coach. They also aim to help contribute to a winning culture as the club grows. For O'Neill's side of things, they joined the men's staff after winning the double with the Gales in Green, helping the club secure the Players' Shield and Gainbridge Super League titles. Congrats to them. In a corresponding move, the club has parted ways with assistant coaches Jose Robles as well as Kyle Tim. Luke Lexington Sporting Community had thanked them for their contributions. And a good debut for the new technical staff of Lexington because they got the job done in Detroit, albeit on penalties. Detroit City had the first major chance to tilt the match early at Keyworth when a Rouge player was brought down to the box in the 16th minute, but Oliver Semley came up massive for Lexington, saving the penalty, keeping the game level. Detroit didn't have to wait much longer, though. In the 20th minute, Darren Smith set up Callum Montgomery, who found the net to put Le Rouge in front. Lexington carried the ball from there, holding close to 60% possession, patiently trying to find a way through. The Greens made some halftime adjustments, bringing on the likes of Jacob Green, Javane Brown, as well as Rodriguez, later introducing Blessing in the 76th minute. But Detroit looked like they were closing in on a home cup win, but then the late twist, 90th plus 5th minute, Marcus Epps found Blessing, the substitute, near the edge of the box, and the former MLS Cup winner's deflected strike nestled into the bottom corner for his first Lexington goal, with the match level after regulation. The guy who did it during regulation, saving the penalty kick, Semley took over again, saving Detroit's first 3 attempts in this one before Marcus Epps converted the clincher to give Lexington a 3-1 shootout win in the final straw year. So 2 points to the good for the Lexington, and then 1 point for Detroit. Looking at who missed their penalties, you had Jope, who missed it for Detroit. You also had Tabor Titaka, as well as Aiden Stanley. Ben Morris was the only one to convert it for Lexington side. Malloy, he secured it from the spot. Ade Doken, as well. Nick Fermito was the only one who did not, but Marcus Epps was the one, obviously, who tilted the side. Assembly walking away there with the Man of the Match award. Latif Blessing delivering the moment Lexington needed, which is really solid. And Detroit will be shooting themselves in the foot a little bit with the missed 16th penalty. They entered the match after winning in its USL Cup opener 1-0 over Forward Madison, but now we'll see what happens with them. Lexington moved to 5 points in Group 4. This match taking place. We'll go through all the groups once we reach the end of the recaps. Sporting Jacks, that is, taking on Tampa Bay Rowdies at Hodges Stadium on Saturday night. The Rowdies took control of the game early on, almost took a lead on the half-hour mark when Cruz's header hit the crossbar off a corner kick. But Cruz was on the money in the 35th minute as he slotted home a finish from the right side of the box after a sweeping cross left by Charlie Ostrom to put the visitors ahead. The visitors then doubled their lead in first half stoppage time. MD Myers, one of the Player of the Month nominees for May, played in behind the Jacksonville back line by Cruz and tucked home a finish to the right corner for the left side of the penalty area. So there you have it, Sebastian Cruz recording a goal and an assist as Tampa Bay Rowdies took a 2-0 win against Sporting Club Jacksonville at Hodges Stadium in Group 7 of the Prince Tires USL Cup, clinching a place in the quarterfinals, as well as extending their undefeated streak to 14 games now across all competitions to start the 2026 season. So Rowdies down, Sporting Jacks clinch Group 7. We talked about Sporting Jacks perhaps getting a little bit of a different side of light in the USL Cup. They did pretty well, and they just needed to take down Tampa. That's no tall task. Couldn't get the job done at home to Hodges Stadium. So Charleston taking on Pittsburgh. This one was a stalemate. They played this like a June playoff game. Tight, physical, full of small margins. Ikaza came closest for Charleston in the 11th minute, rattling a half volley off the post. John Berner answered at the other end with a strong save on Goldthorpe in the 28th minute. Pittsburgh also had a good look through Trevor Amon, but neither side could turn those first half moments into a goal. Second half did stay tense. Cabrera, who came on early after Langston Blackstock was forced off due to injury, nearly punished a goalkeeping mistake just after halftime. His effort blocked off the line. Pittsburgh had their own dangerous sequence around the hour mark through Goldthorpe, only for Graham Smith to get a crucial boot in and deflect the shot away. The match then shifted 81st minute when Lassie Kelp was shown a second yellow card, reducing the Hounds to 10 men. Charleston pushed hard late with an extra man. Alec Hughes forced to save. Akponunu headed just wide, and the battery kept loading balls into the box, but Pittsburgh stayed compact, held the 0-0 draw through regulation, which sent it to, obviously, the penalty kicks. Sean Suber, Mikael Berry, Pakomov, as well as Akponunu, all converted, while Berner saved from Jorge Garcia and Aldair Flowers. Gamboa missed wide. Charleston took the shootout 4-2 to stay atop of Group 6. So it was a tight, detail-heavy match. Obviously, the stronger late pressure after Kelp's red card, but Charleston's penalty execution was flawless, and John Berner gave them the decisive edge with his save in the third round, we should say. Questions on this? What does this really mean for Charleston? Well, it means Charleston did not get the regulation when they wanted, but they still handled the pressure moment. In the cup format, bonus points matter. Winning the shootout keeps them in control of Group 6. The performance was not perfect. Ben Pierman said they probably did not quite deserve the regulation win, but getting through the tight playoff-style test can still matter much later in the tournament as well. Charleston improved to 19 wins, 11 losses, 18 draws all time against Pittsburgh, and 48 meetings since the year of 1999. Pittsburgh must win its final USL Cup match against Loudoun and get help elsewhere to reach the knockout stages as a wild card. So there you have it. Quite solid stuff from Charleston side of things to get the 2 points at home against the 2025 USL champion. Yeah, so Sacramento taking on Monterey Bay. Sacramento coming out sharp at Heart Health Park, hosting Monterey Bay, putting them under pressure, nearly taking the lead in the 8th minute when Jared Timmer headed in a Michel Benitez corner, only for a goal to be ruled out for a foul away from the ball. The match changed drastically in the 30th minute when Timmer was shown a red card, forcing Sacramento to play down a man for the final hour. Monterey Bay, riding back-to-back league wins, eventually made that extra man count. 54th minute, back post ball bounce around the 6-yard box. Riley Bedois reacted quickest to finish and give the visitors the lead. Sacramento answered pretty much almost immediately. 6 minutes later, Monterey Bay were called for a handball in the box. Michel Benitez buried the penalty to bring the Republic FC level. Despite being down a man, Sacramento kept pushing through its substitutes. Blake Wiley, debutant Pierre Reedy, helping give the hosts fresh energy. Neither side could find a winner in regulation, so the match went to penalties. Sacramento perfect from the spot, just like from Charleston's side of things. Mark Anthony Kaye, Benitez, Lee Desmond, Mayel Malongo against his former side, Ryan Spalding, all converting. Danny Vidiel coming up with that key save on Elijah Paul, giving Republic FC the shootout edge after a 1-1 draw. Really big save from Danny Vidiel's side on Elijah Paul's. And there you have it. From coaching standpoint, Neil Collins had to manage almost the entire match down that man, but they showed resiliency and Republic FC remains first in Group 1 with one group match left. And shout out to Pierre Reedy for making his club debut. And there you have it there for Sacramento getting the win over Monterey Bay. Tulsa taking on San Antonio FC at One Oak Field. FC Tulsa started like a team ready to protect its unbeaten run, coming out aggressive at One Oak Field and creating several early looks. In the 18th minute, Jamie Weber helped spark the counter. Remy Cabral finished it off to put the Scissors Tails in front in the 18th minute. Tulsa kept the pressure on through the rest of the half, putting 5 shots in target before the break, but they could not find a second goal. San Antonio responded quickly after halftime. The 51st minute, Emil Coelho delivered from wide, and Mikey Maldonado finished across for his first goal with his hometown club. The match stayed tight from there until the 80th minute when Ian Carlos Souza Daniel was shown a second yellow card, reducing Tulsa to 10 men. That red card opened the door for San Antonio late. In stoppage time, 2 substitutes combined to decide it. Player of the Month nominee for May, Dimitri Arafin, served the ball in, and Luke Hackinson redirected it home in the 90th plus first. San Antonio walked away with a 2-1 comeback win, staying unbeaten in USL Cup play while snapping Tulsa's 7-match unbeaten streak across all competitions. Obviously, the deciding point there, the 82nd minute red card, second yellow to Ian Carlos Souza Daniel, tilting the edge for Tulsa. For San Antonio in this one. But Remy Cabral scoring all three USL Cup matches this season. Gotta love that. Logan Dorsey made his club debut. From San Antonio's side of things, Joey Batrumi made 6 saves, tying his career high. And Luke Hackinson scored his 8th goal for San Antonio. Obviously, Michael Maldonado scoring his first goal for the club. They remain undefeated all time in USL Cup group stage play at 5 wins and 2 draws for San Antonio. Really nice stat. Luke Hackinson called it, and quote, an amazing game from the group, credited the medical staff for helping him return from injury before scoring the winner. Colorado Springs Switchbacks taking on El Paso, and the disciplinary issues continue for El Paso. Guys, El Paso has now received straight red cards in 4 of its last 6 games. Locomotive now have 7 red cards across all competitions this season, and the red card here happened in the 25th minute. It was Mazaraca who drove toward the goal after collecting a cross, and Ricky Ruiz who pulled him back over the shoulder while trying to stop a clear scoring chance. Referee went straight to the red card. El Paso had to play more than an hour down a man. Colorado Springs took the advantage in the 30th minute. Yosuke Hanya carried the ball towards the block from the left side, found Sam Williams, whose clever flick set up Juan Tejada, right place, right time to head home the opener. Nice diving header. Really solid stuff from the guy who scored in 2024 USL Championship final. El Paso answered right before halftime. Alex Mendez delivered a corner. Tony Alfaro rose to head it. The equalizer sending the match into the break level despite that red card. So it was actually level going into halftime, but the Switchbacks kept pushing. The extra man proved pivotal in around the 70th minute when Adrian Perez carried the ball, slipped a quick pass to Jonas Feldberg, who calmly finished into the far right corner. El Paso did have some chances late, but Colorado did hold on for a 2-1 win, booking a place in the Prince Tires USL Cup quarterfinals for the first time in club history. From a tactical standpoint, Colorado did what they needed to do after going up a man control possession, pushed the game to El Paso's half, generated 20 shots. Defensively, Switchbacks stayed organized, recording 14 receptions and 12 clearances to help protect that lead. Attendance on the night at Widener Field was around 6,092 people, so good attendance as well. And the question, are Colorado Springs becoming a serious USL Cup contender? Yes. Colorado handled the delay. They used the red card advantage. There was a delay to this game as well before starting. They found the second half winner, made club history by reaching the quarterfinals. This kind of result that builds that belief for sure. Ashley Perslow, Colorado Springs Switchbacks, FC Communications, El Paso Locomotive Communications as well for the coverage. All coverage coming from official sites such as USL Championship or the press releases of the respective teams in conversation. New Mexico United against Phoenix Rising FC. Both teams had chances in the first half, including a big opportunity for United's Valentin Noel after a quarter of an hour that the French playmaker sent off target, but the host took the lead in the first minute of first half stoppage time when Chris Gloster's low cross to the penalty area found Reed Steven at the back post for the first time finish. New Mexico broke the game open after the break, however, with Usman Jabang scoring in the 53rd minute as he put home a finish in the second attempt. His initial shot was off a cross. by Noel was partially blocked at the top of the 6-yard area. So 2-0 to the good for New Mexico before the hour mark. And then Valentin Noel had to add his own. Get on the score sheet after a hustle play from Christian Nava kept an opportunity alive on the left side. His low shot was saved, only for Noel to clean up on the rebound with 20 minutes to go. And then it was Dayon Harris capped off the scoring 4-0 for New Mexico after the 85th minute goal from Harris, putting home the second opportunity after Phoenix Chitura Odunzi parried his initial efforts. So there you have it. Neil Reed-Stevens scored late in the first half to launch a big second half performance, guiding New Mexico to a win over Phoenix in Group 2 of the USL Cup, keeping United alive in its bid to advance to the knockout stage. Las Vegas hosting Oakland at Cashman Field. Jocelyn Metz, the official for this one, 2,774 in attendance as well. Late Saturday night, the visitors took the lead 4 minutes before the halftime break in spectacular fashion as Dave Vicente curled a corner kick from the right in at the far post for an Olympico. That's right, the 41st minute, Dave Vicente scoring off of a corner kick. The lights almost hit back just over a minute into the second half when Carson Locker curled a shot from 20 yards that was tipped onto the crossbar by the Swiss goalkeeper for Oakland, Raphael Spiegel. Roots doubled their lead in the 59th minute, however, as Wolfgang Prentice played Lepli into the left side of the box after he navigated past his marker. The 24-year-old slipped his finish past the advancing goalkeeper to the right corner. Olex Anderson almost found the net for Las Vegas with 11 minutes to go, having his finish blocked wide off that left post, but the visitors held firm, claiming their first win of the tournament. Jesus De Vicente, Tucker Lepli scoring either side of halftime to lead Oakland Roots to a 2-0 victory against Las Vegas in Group 1 of the Prince Stars USL Cup at Cashman Field. Tucker Lepli has been really solid so far since coming in for Oakland. Cosmos taking on Hartford, starting the first of the chain of USL League One sides, taking on USL Championship sides. Hartford, though, took care of business in Paterson, New Jersey at Hinchcliffe Stadium. John Motto was the official, and this one is the Sierra Leone international Augie Williams tallying a goal and assist to lift Hartford to a 4-1 win over the Cosmos, moving the visitors to first place in Group 5 of the Prince Stars USL Cup. Williams opened the scoring in the 11th minute. Cosmos midfielder Tino Puentes was then sent off for a reckless challenge in the 16th minute. So there was a lengthy weather delay. Hartford then took advantage after being a man up. Goals from Coffey, Samadia, and Hernandez as well. There was a consolation prize for Cosmos coming the 87th minute. They did score to make it 1-3, but that was Hernandez a minute later to make it 4-1 in favor of Hartford. Indy 11 taking on Forward Madison FC in Group 4 action at Michael A. Carroll Stadium. Paco Craig, Josh O'Brien scoring second half goals to lead Indy 11 to victory against Forward Madison on Saturday night. So keeping the hosts alive in the group after a dominant performance. 8,500 in attendance approximately there. Loudoun taking on Richmond Kickers in Segra Field. This is Group 6 action. Carlos Rodriguez was the match official. 2,200 in attendance at Segra Field. Loudoun came out with energy from the opening whistle, controlling possession. They set the tempo quite well, but couldn't find the breakthrough until the second half. And it was almighty Thor Ulfersson, opening the scoring from the home side in the 68th minute around there. After deserved 1-0 lead after some sustained pressure. The forward struck again in the 8th minute to double the advantage, completing his brace, giving Loudoun full control of the match defensively. Loudoun staying organized, holding Richmond to just 2 shots on goal, securing the clean sheet in front of the home crowd. And it was a clean sheet that was special. Jordan Farr, remember him? The former Tampa Bay Rowdies goalkeeper, Loudoun United, announced back on June 5th that he will join the club on loan from Major League Soccer side DC United for the remainder of the 2026 season, pending obviously approval, which was the case. Farr joins Loudoun with extensive USL Championship experience, having previously claimed the league's Goalkeeper of the Year award in 2022, as he helped San Antonio FC win both the league title and Player Shield. Farr enjoyed his standout campaign that year, recording 34 starts, 17 clean sheets. Overall, Farr has recorded 133 appearances, logged close to 12,000 minutes of action in the championship across the regular season and playoffs in his career, also competing for Indy 11 and the Tampa Bay Rowdies, in addition to San Antonio, leading a back 5 in this one. So congrats to him for the 2 saves of the night. Anthony Librick, obviously very happy to have him part of the squad. For Farr, he says, quote, "I'm really excited to be here. This feels like home. My family lives in Loudoun County, so representing the community is something that is very exciting for me and my family. I know a lot of the staff and players here, and I can't wait to get started." And get started he has, with a clean sheet in the USL Cup. We see this a lot for DC United. The relationship they have with Loudoun United, a lot of loans from DC typically go there. Former players for DC United also go to Loudoun United. I'm trying to think of one player already from the previous season that I had. It's part of my notes, but he's no longer playing in the league. What was his name? Because I know I have it here. I think it was Drew Skundrick. Yeah, Drew Skundrick. Already good. I just thought of his name. Right, perfect. Drew Skundrick, a great example. Guy who used to play with Bethlehem Steel, played with DC United for really a lot of that season, 2021-2022, and then obviously played his last year in Loudoun, making 52 appearances in that 2024-2025 campaign season. So that's really cool to see from that side of things. And he talks about a little bit of the relationship, give you some tangible evidence that it's solid, good partner clubs between Loudoun and DC United. Rhode Island FC taking on Westchester at Centerville Bank Stadium. Clay Holstad, J.J. Williams, and Leo Afonso all finding the net as Rhode Island took victory before a sellout crowd at home to keep Rhode Island in contention to advance going into its final game of the group stage. Really raunchy atmosphere there on Saturday in Pawtucket, Rhode Island for Rhode Island FC. AV Alta taking on OC. This was one of the only things that did not go to plan for USL Championship side against the USL League One side. AV Alta again the upset at Lancaster Municipal Stadium in front of a capacity crowd of 3,206 people. The hosts went close to taking the lead in the 26th minute, but Osvaldo Leigh's finish got called back for offside. 5 minutes after that, Orange County opened the scoring when Chris Haggard's teasing cross found the captain Tom Brewitt, who nodded in his first goal for the club. But the comeback was on, started with an equalizer that came from almost nothing in the 42nd minute. 16-year-old USL Academy signing Elliot Jang picked up a ball from goalkeeper Jumbia in his own half, played a long pass over the top for Anderson, who outpaced the back line, stayed composed, nutmegged the Orange County goalkeeper Cadono to tie the match. In the second half, the winning goal came in a moment of individual brilliance from Almesh as the 20-year-old received a pass from Villalobos, dribbling past two OC players, tucking the ball into the back net for his second goal of the tournament. Goals in either half by Anderson and Almesh proved the difference as Alta fighting back to defeat Orange County at Lancaster Municipal Stadium in Group 2 of the Prince Tires USL Cup. Other results that I did not mention here. FC Naples lost to Sarasota Paradise at home to the score of 2-0. Union Omaha took care of business, putting 4 on the board against Fort Wayne. Spoke Velocity taking down Boise 2-1 to the good. And also a big thing, recording on a Sunday, one match left, and it's Brooklyn against Portland Hearts of Pine. So they return home to Brooklyn at Maimonides Park for this one. In the previous USL Cup match, Portland upset championship side Rhode Island at their home stadium in Maine. Back in USL League One, Portland is 9th place in the table after a 3-2 away loss to Corpus Christi back on Wednesday. We should mention from Brooklyn side of things that last weekend they drew 2-2 with fellow expansion side Sporting Jacks in a match that was obviously ending early due to rain and lightning in the area. The last USL Cup match on May 16 was a 2-0 loss to Hartford Athletic. Brooklyn sits obviously 3rd place in their cup group, just 1 point behind leaders Portland and Hartford. Definitely need to win and hope to get in that contention for the wild card spot. We talked to a Brooklyn FC player immediately following that loss. I think it was one of the day afters, the second day after that game. That was Thomas Van Kazel in that match against Hartford, where he almost scored. It was a fun conversation. Definitely check it out if you haven't. Our second player interview that had taken place in our episode library. Also on YouTube if you want to watch a video, on Spotify if you also want to watch the video there. Talking about importance, Brooklyn did get the win in their first game. Now, obviously, taking on Portland obviously, I'm recording on a Monday here, so it happened yesterday. If they win, they'll take on a Rhode Island side next and hopefully have enough. 9 points would be solid to get into a wild card spot, especially if Hartford tie Westchester, which is obviously not likely, but there is a chance that with 2 wins, Brooklyn could be top of the group in Group 5. Other matches to be weary of is Birmingham Legion taking on Corpus Christi on Tuesday, June 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. And then you have some USL League One action, the USL Cup. Knoxville taking on Chattanooga on Wednesday night. And you also have Greenville Triumph taking on Loudoun United FC on Wednesday, June 10th at 7 p.m. Let's take a look at the Cup format table and seeing how things are going in Group 1, the California group, as well as with a little bit of Las Vegas and Boise from Idaho. You have Sacramento on top of things with a win, and obviously the penalty shootout win they had against Monterey Bay. They have 8 points to the good. Their next match is against Boise. So that will be very interesting to see what happens. Spokane Velocity in second place there with back-to-back wins, 6 points to the good. They take on Oakland Roots next. Boise in third place with 5 points. Oakland Roots in fourth place with 4 points. Not really looking good for Oakland side of things, so maybe they turn over the roster, and Spokane could be one of those teams that make it through wild card or perhaps first place if Boise gets the job done against Sacramento. Group 2, Colorado Springs Switchbacks clinching it pretty much there with 9 points to the good, which is really good to see. El Paso in second place with 6 points. They take on a New Mexico side next, I think on the 11th of July, so that'll be very interesting. New Mexico right behind them in the standings with 6 points to the good. 9 points again for either New Mexico or El Paso. That's kind of what you want as a sweet spot for a possible wild card spot. Obviously, what counts as well is the amount of goals you score. Not just the goal difference, but the goals you score is quite pivotal. At the moment, New Mexico have 6, El Paso have 5, so really good battle there possibly between those two sides. AV Alta in fourth place with 3 points. In fifth place, Phoenix Rising with 3 points. And then bottom of Group 2, after a terrible campaign, is Orange County. Let's take on Colorado next. So Colorado looking really good, and most likely will obviously get to the quarterfinals of the competition. Group 3, you have the clinchers, San Antonio, taking care of business with a draw. Win and penalty kick shootouts against San Antonio to start things off. Against Birmingham Legion. Back-to-back wins against One Knoxville and FC Tulsa. My phone's going crazy. I should have definitely muted it. You already hear the ESPN notes going off. Got a lot of alerts going on because so many games taking place for soccer-wise. Tulsa in second place. Can't really do much there. And then you have Birmingham in third place. We'll see what happens. They have a chance if they win out. Obviously taking on Corpus Christi come this Tuesday, and then One Knoxville, Chattanooga, bottom of Group 3. Group 4 at the moment is looking quite good for Lou City, although they played the least amount of games so far in that group. They have 6 points, 2 wins. They'll take on Detroit next. In second place, Union Omaha with 6 points, 7 goals scored. Lexington in third place with only 2 matches played, with the win against Forward Madison and the penalty kick win against Detroit. So that's good for them. Indy 11 only have 1 match left, so unlikely there. I'll take on a Lexington side. Next, Detroit, also 4 points from the first 2 games. Do have a chance here to take on Lou City next on the 20th of June, I believe. So that will be very interesting to see what happens there. Detroit, if they get the win or even a draw, possibly with penalty kick win, they're looking pretty good. Fort Wayne, Forward Madison, you can count them out. Nothing left to play for there. Nice thing is, though, for Detroit fans, you will take on a Fort Wayne side after your Lou City match. So, again, a chance to come away with the possibility of getting 10 points from the good and walking out of Group 4 the winners. Group 5, Group 6, and Group 7 left to go. Hartford Athletic, we talked about it already. They have 7 points to the good, 6 goals scored, plus 5 goal differential, taking on Westchester side next. They will look most likely to get through on Group 5. But Rhode Island, Portland Hearts of Pine, Brooklyn. Obviously, not sure what happens to Brooklyn, Portland Hearts of Pine, but Rhode Island side of things, they have 5 points. They'll need a win and hopefully for some favors in their next match against Brooklyn, which will be on the 11th of July as well. Group 6, Charleston Battery, looking the best and most favorable out of all the teams here. They are first place with that penalty kick win over Pittsburgh and those back-to-back wins over Loudoun and Richmond Kickers. They have 6 goals to the good, 8 points as well, plus 5 goal differential behind them. All on 5 points here, Pittsburgh Rebounds, as well as Charlotte Independence. Charlotte Independence have only played 2 matches, though, and they take on next Greenville Triumph on June 24th. So if they win that match, it's possible that Charlotte Independence could be one of those teams that make it from the USL League 1 side into the next round of the tournament. 4th, 5th, and 6th is Loudoun, Greenville, and Richmond. Nothing left to play for those sides. Maybe, I should say, sorry for Loudoun fans, you could, with a win over Greenville Triumph, I'm not sure who you have after. Let me just double check in the standings. You'll have Greenville Triumph, and then you'll have Pittsburgh on the road on Saturday, July 11th. That will be possible for Loudoun. If they win out, they can get the wild card there. Then Group 7, Tampa Bay Rowdies taking care of business with back-to-back wins. Their undefeated season, 8 goals to the good, +7. And this one, Sporting Jacks finished with only 4 points after a win against Sarasota and a loss against Naples in the penalty kick shootout side of things. Miami, though, they are in second with 6 points to the good. They'll take on Sarasota next. They'll have 9 points, but it's about the amount of goals you score. And that's how things are in the USL Cup. Next matches to be weary of, I should say, is the USL Championship return to action midweek as well. You'll have Wednesday, June 10th, Tampa Bay Rowdies hosting Charleston Battery at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Half an hour later, Detroit City hosts El Paso. By the way, for El Paso, we have not seen any of Cristo Fernandez, i.e. Ted Lasso, i.e. Danny Rojas, yet. So would perhaps the game against Detroit be the first time we get to see him? Who knows? But yeah, so far 3 times that El Paso played, haven't seen him since. Wednesday, June 10th, huge game. Monterey Bay hosting Sporting Jacks, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific there. Very good. Phoenix Rising hosting Louisville City at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific on June 10th, Wednesday. Then Saturday, we're back with action all across the USL Championship Saturday for the boys, Saturday for USL Championship. Loudoun kicks it off by hosting Rhode Island, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific on June 13th. An hour later, you have Pittsburgh River Hounds hosting at 11, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. Lexington hosts San Antonio at the same time. Sporting Jacks host Detroit at the same time. Half an hour later, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Tampa Bay Rowdies hosting Hartford Athletic. Charleston Battery hosting FC Tulsa. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. Lou City hosts Brooklyn. Birmingham Legion hosts Las Vegas. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Colorado hosts Sacramento Republic FC on Saturday, June 13th. El Paso hosts Phoenix Rising on Saturday, June 13th. And New Mexico, half an hour later, will host Orange County, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. And then 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, Oakland Roots host Miami FC as we are back in league action. And don't forget, next time we speak, we'll have to talk about the FIFA World Cup undergoing on the 11th of June. Can't wait for that. I'm so excited. Again, South Africa versus New Mexico. Not New Mexico versus Mexico. Kicking off the World Cup. Can't wait for that. That'll be at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific. And we'll see what happens then. But so much more to catch up on. Guys, enjoy the soccer festival, the summer-filled festival of soccer, I should say. Stay cool and make sure to check your calendar. Anytime someone asks you to do something, do me a favor. If somebody asks you to pick up groceries, wash their dog, I don't know, clean something, or take the car wash in, or, let's meet for drinks, let's meet for this, lunch, or I got to go to christening, whatever the heck it is, check your phone, check your calendar, see what World Cup games are on. You better tell them, I can't do it, actually. I have an obligation. That's not going to work for me. You want to preserve and protect the possibility to watch Summer's Soccer Festival every 4 years. Don't miss it. Enjoy it. As well as the USL Championship, always ongoing too. Love it. Peace and love, everyone. That's it. That's all I got. I'm excited. I gotta get up. I gotta get moving. Hopefully you guys do. All the best. Talk soon.